All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give our praises and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom to all the Akim out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. This is Brother Shamar coming back with another lesson. And in this lesson, I wanted to kind of touch on this article that I seen. Because, I'm pretty sure everyone that heard about the stuff going on. What the hell? Yeah, all the stuff going on out there in L.A. and, California, different parts of the U.S. with these protests. And now they're saying, like you see with this heading, the U.S. braces for a nationwide insurrection as radical left prepares day of rage in multiple cities. And these cities are going to be in major areas, I'm assuming, and, in major states or whatever. But the point being is that you're seeing what's going on now, man. And I'm going to read, like I said, some of the article, but it's going into how, they're comparing it to pretty much a George Floyd moment. Because when I remember I was talking with the brothers out here about that the other day, how when that happened out in the Bay Area, we was out there in the city, right after camp wrapping up. And Jake was just going wild, smashing in stores. People was driving into the city just to cause havoc and mayhem. All right. And then seeing all that, the city got locked down. And just like you seeing kind of the same thing being repeated now, but even more extreme. Like they're not just breaking into stores and looting. They're, throwing shit at the police, Molotovs, and, throwing fucking rocks and, all type of stuff at the law enforcement pretty much that could injure them and hurt them. They're not just destroying stuff in the city and vandalizing things. All right, they actually coming up against the government. And we all know what that can lead up to, man. All right. And this is what this article is going into pretty much, like, depending how bad this situation gets with this whole day of rage stuff, it can lead to a lot more things happening, man. Ultimately, escalating things to like basically causing a crash, chaos, and, cracking off the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Ultimately. But the scripture I wanted to start it with is 2 Ezra 9:1. It says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before," and we're measuring the times now, man. How do you measure it? By paying attention to what's going on in the world and using the scriptures to measure it, man. And we can see the prophecies are speaking, all right? The things that are taking place now, it's clear as day that we're at the end of this thing, man. We're at the end of Babylon. This place is so divided, and the tensions with the other nations, as well as within this country, all right, Babylonians against the government, things are seriously heating up, man. All right. That's why you got to be measuring the time diligently. And we're seeing those signs come to pass that we've been told of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to look for, and look forward to, man, and look out for. All right. Then, continuing on, it says, "Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." And you're seeing that, man. All these things that are going on is not just a coincidence. It ain't just, a random event that's just occurring and taking place. All right. And yeah, they saying, oh, the elites, they're controlling it, the pressure from above, the pressure from beneath. We get that. Yet who ultimately controls everything, man? Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, so yeah, this is going to be used to further their agenda, but ultimately, them trying to so-called further their agenda is really just forwarding the prophecies, making it happen sooner. Because we already know what they want to do, what their true agenda is. Is locking everything down, establishing the NWO, that MOTB system. All right, but it has to be certain things that take place in order for them to be justified in doing those things, man. And you're seeing it play out. All right. And I'm gonna touch you back on this article. Well, I'm gonna read the next two verses and then go back into the article. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And you're seeing the uproars of the people happening, man. All right. And Jake don't, in America, they're pretty much fucking docile as hell. Yet, when you do finally get them going, Jake's a fucking animal, When they actually lose it and they out there just acting all crazy. And at the same time, you're going to have those agent provocateurs and false flags happening. But that's just Esau taking advantage of the chaos. That's he that instigated to happen anyway, man. All right, but you're seeing the uproars of the people happening now, man. All right. So continuing on, in the article, it says, these are different points from it that you're seeing right here. It says, the No Kings protests escalate. Authorities brace for violent far-left protests in 50-plus cities, fearing activists aim to provoke another George Floyd moment, inciting clashes with the law enforcement. It said, radical left's do-or-die strategy. Analysts warn protesters seek a Kent state-style incident, such as troops firing on crowds to justify mass unrest and sway public opinion against Trump's potential re-election, and military and police on high alert. Marines are deployed in LA after riots. Officials hint at aggressive rules of engagement, including live fire if federal property is attacked amid declining public tolerance for violence. And it says false flag and global risk. Intelligence suggests agitators may stage fake attacks to frame law enforcement, while global tensions, Iran, Russia, China, could exploit U.S. instability for strategic gains. All right. Citizen preparedness urged. It's a lot. Citizen preparedness urged. With July 4th looming, security agencies advise avoiding protests, stocking emergency supplies, and monitoring local alerts amid warnings of urban warfare and economic collapse. So this is all being done to cause just confusion, chaos, and ultimately to further their agenda. So then when these things, because this, regardless, the destruction of Babylon going to take place. All right, the economic collapse is going to happen. All right, and Esau is going to come with that great wrath, but he's going to have find a way to be so-called justified. And if things escalate, like it's mentioning up in here, if things potentially escalate, this could all be that trigger that causes these things, and them being like, oh, this is the reason why X, Y, and Z happened. All right. But we see clear as day the times that we live in, man. All right. The prophecy speaking, and all this is happening, man. All right. And this is literally just out of nowhere with all this happening, as far as like the stuff going on in LA and all over California, in the Bay Area and other cities and whatnot. All right. It just came out of nowhere. Like I'm out in a different state right now. And when I had left Cali, I was just out there, that was barely a week ago, pretty much, because I left Sunday. So not even a week has passed, and all this stuff started just taking place, going down. Damn near right after, like, I had left, pretty much. So things can happen overnight, man. All right. Now I'm going to get another scripture and then read a little bit more of the article. This is Romans 13:11. It says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we believed. All right. And I want to read that in the NLT as well. It says, this is all the more urgent, for you know how late it is. Time is running out. Wake up, for our salvation is nearer now than we when we first believed. All right. So time is running out, man. Because you still got, the masses of our people taking it as a game, thinking it's a joke, scoffing, talking shit on the comment boards, on the highways and hedges. Even the ones who claim to be Israelites, you taking it as a joke, thinking it's a game, man. All right, now it's high time to awake out of sleep, man. Because we see these things getting ready to crack off at any moment. And once that momentum starts, it ain't gonna stop, man. All right. Just like how everything been going since 2020, things been happening nonstop damn near for us regarding prophecies. If you're looking at the news with politics, geopolitical stuff, everything's just getting more and more intense, man. And now it's to the point to where it's over here within Babylon in America, where you're having the uproars of the people, and they're coming up against the government, man. All right, and now when that happens, it can only get worse. All right, like the article is mentioning. All right, if they actually start firing live rounds at people, you can only imagine how extreme things are really finna get on the streets. You seen the movie Civil War, all right, the Purge, the Forever Purge. It basically was just all throughout America on fire at the end. All right, and why is that? Because you have the wicked in rulership, as well as it being the time of this place going down and prophecies taking place, man. All right, you're seeing everything happening right before your eyes. Okay. It's a kind of a lot on the article. It ain't super long, but I guess I'll read a little bit of it. The main ones, these, yeah, I'll read a little bit. So it says, imminent domestic turmoil. Federal and local law enforcement agencies are preparing for what could become one of the most explosive weekends in recent U.S. history as far left groups mobilize under the banner No Kings, a direct challenge to President Trump's military celebration on his birthday, June 14th. Intelligence suggests the demonstrations could spiral into violent clashes and agitators aiming to provoke a law enforcement crackdown that could be spun into nationwide outrage. According to security analyst Matt Bracken, the radical left views this as a do-or-die moment, fearing a loss of political influence if Trump secures another term. They're looking for their George Floyd moment, another Kent State incident, to justify mass unrest. Bracken warned they want footage of federal troops firing on protesters to ignite the country. Law enforcement on the brink. The Pentagon has already deployed Marines to secure federal buildings in Los Angeles, where riots earlier this week saw protesters assault police and torch vehicles. A citywide curfew is in effect, but concerns remain about enforcement. Analysts suggest that if violence escalates, the military and police may adopt aggressive rules of engagement, including live fire against rioters attacking the federal property. The American people are fed up with lawlessness, said one federal official speaking anonymously. If Marines have to defend themselves against Molotov cocktails, the public won't side with the rioters. Polls indicate declining sympathy for violent demonstrations, with many conservatives and moderates favoring a zero-tolerance stance against urban insurrections. So Esau, he's ready to come with that great wrath, man. And he, like it says, they just got the regular law enforcement out there. They got the Marines, the National Guard, all right, the Army. And you can see how intense things has gotten, man. For them to do all of that and now actually potentially leading up to them just not even just shooting the bean bags or rubber bullets at people doing live fucking rounds. All right. He ready to make that move on you people, man. He's just setting the stage up, and he's been doing that behind the scenes while everybody else been getting caught up in the bread and circus. He's been setting the stage to keep on furthering his agenda, so to speak, man. All right, and I'm gonna get that real quick. Yeah, this is Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And at least they know they running out of time, man. All right, that's why you see them doing everything that they're doing. People bugging out. You got the governors and certain other people bugging out at the moves that Trump is doing, calling in the military or the Marines and the army and all that. They ready to come with that great wrath, man. Esau ain't playing with y'all no more. All right? Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai ain't playing with y'all, man. And this is the times that we in where the Lord, he's getting ready to bring judgment, man. All right? As well as America going down, being destroyed ultimately. It's going to be chaos within America, all type of crazy shit going down. All right? The time of Jacob's trouble, man. You're seeing it getting ready to happen down there, depending on how this play out. It can start off right now, you know? Because they're saying that, like it says in the article, basically this weekend, supposed to be the, what you call, Day of Rage, all right? And you see all the different things that could potentially be going on, what this article is saying. Now, the last main point I wanted to hit was, well, I'll just finish it or read this point right here. Risk of false flags and escalation. Amid the domestic unrest, intelligence sources warn that bad actors within protest movements could stage false flag attacks, either to justify a crackdown or to frame law enforcement as aggressors. They need a bloody incident to galvanize their base, said a DHS analyst, and I believe that's the Department of Homeland Security. Don't rule out agitators posing as Marines or National Guard to fake a massacre. The timing coincides with heightened global tensions, including Iran threatening U.S. bases, Russia's next move to, to retaliate against Ukraine for those drone strikes, and China's opportunism to Beijing could exploit U.S. internal divisions to move on Taiwan or launch cyber attacks. And it says, the nation on edge with July 4th holiday looming, another high-risk date for mass gatherings and potential attacks. Security agencies are urging vigilance, and citizens are advised to avoid protest zones, secure emergency supplies, and monitor local law enforcement directives. This isn't just about protests, it's about a coordinated assault on America's stability, warned retired Lieutenant Colonel Michael Roberts. If this spirals, we could see a perfect storm of urban warfare, economic collapse, and global conflict. As the weekend approaches, the U.S. stands at a crossroads, one that could redefine its future. And that's the times that we living in, man. All right? Where this place is on its way out of here. And it ain't no turning back, man. All right? You're seeing the things pretty much happening right before you. All right? Like it says in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, this is what we're seeing take place now, man. All right, 2nd Ezra 15, and I'm gonna start at 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And is that not what you see going on now? All right. And that's literally what they naming the protest. Uh, where is it at? Yeah, no kings. That's what they literally labeling it. So they're already not regarding the authority, the government. You're seeing the people turning violent against them. And like it said in the article, if things escalate to where they doing live rounds on the people, or even if it's a false flag, whatever the case may be, and things further escalate, this could be America's at a crossroads where there's no going back, man. All right. Things is getting terribly, on edge. And this all transpired within 1 week. And now look at how fast things then escalated. Showing you how quick the Lord can move, man. All right. But these are the times that we living in, man. All right. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled and the houses shall be destroyed. And men shall be afraid. And this is what you're seeing going on now, man. All right. The city's literally getting locked down. We seeing the prophecy speaking. These cities are being troubled. The protest is so-called nationwide this weekend. And they're talking about they're phrasing it as no kings. Showing you that the spirit, that's the spirit. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right. Because ultimately, if that's all this does play out and it keeps on getting worse, man, it ain't going to just be people coming up against the government. Because when that economic collapse happened, how you going to survive? Like it said in the article, prepare by to secure emergency supplies, food, water, and medical kits. Why are they mentioning things like that? Because food and water isn't going to be easily accessible to you, man. All right, if things escalate and they start going into stores, looting, wiping out everything, shutting things down to where trucks ain't coming through, everything just start being super wild, what you think gonna be happening, man? All hell breaking loose, the time of Jacob's trouble. Esau coming with that great wrath. Ultimately, the prophecies of Yahweh Shem Yahushai coming to pass, man. All right? And this is what we're seeing right before our eyes if you're paying attention. All right? Things ain't going to be calming down. They're only going to continue to heat up. All right? Even if this isn't the thing that starts it off, hey, man, that time is still coming nonetheless. But Lord's will, this do be the thing that do get it started, man. Finally get some shit popping off and this place start fucking crashing down. And judgment starts taking place. Because that's the times that we living in, man. All right, that's why now it's high time to wake out of sleep. All right, because the times that we living in are evil. We seeing the prophecies taking place, speaking. So we have to be circumspect and, walking in the spirit, man. Because you seeing the things taking place and the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is at the doorsteps to destroy America, man. All right. So we'll see how this thing turns out, with this coming into this weekend, as well as leading up to the 2 other dates that the article mentioned, with July the 4th and the 14th or whatever, for June the 14th, I think. For whatever. But we'll see, man. Like I said. So I'm going to wrap up with that. I just want to touch on this article because this is stuff we're witnessing right now in real time going on, getting ready to happen potentially. All right. So with that, I'm going to wrap up and say shalom.